Hey, Kyle. Hi, T Chambers. That's good. Hey, Color Magic Angel and Texas Dolls and online store. Hey, Kyle. How are you doing?
Hey, how are ya?
I'm good.
Good,
Glad to
good.
see you.
Likewise.
And thank you for joining me for this live.
You are very welcome. I'm
Hey,
happy to be here.
Carol.
Let me get my lights in order.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I tell you, it has been a day.
Oh, what happened?
Just stuff, stuff I had mentioned to you before.
Right.
It's a little overwhelming sometimes. So,
Right.
but all is well. And we'll wait and see how many people come in. They're excited about this pose class because I am too.
Oh, good.
You're never too old to learn.
I'm happy to be able to do it. I'm trying to get myself situated so it's not too
Hey,
low.
Daisy Q, Kenny Doll, how y'all doing?
Oh yeah,
I hope
that's better.
everybody
Okay,
is
that's better.
having a great Sunday. Now you're sideways now, Cal. There you go.
Girl.
I know what you mean. I am not tech savvy. Trust.
And I
Hey,
am.
Anika. Hi,
Well,
Star Girl.
can you see? Yes, you can see. Okay, good. Great. All right.
Hey, Nick's Doll World. 1/6 shaders. I've got my Flawless Beauty Adele here. Got her all dressed in her style lab. Aha.
She's one of my favorites.
She's a beautiful doll to me too, except that, I started studying the eyes while her eyes looked off for me, and on her right eye looks good, but the left eye has too much sclera, too much white showing up under the pupil. And that's why it makes her look a little wonky to me. And I don't know if that's just my dolls or all of them.
I think mine don't have any white under her eyes. Like under her eyeball, there's no white.
Yeah. On one of them it doesn't, and on the other one it does. So if they had just made them to match, I would have been okay with that. And stay tuned because this is the next video that comes out on this doll. So that'll be the next one. Next doll review that I do is on this Flawless Beauty Adele. And here's the original. This is Flawless Glow, who is the redhead version of Perfect Skin. So that was the inspiration design for these dolls. That's the throwback. Hey, Ruby Red. Hey, Purple Counselor. Glad you guys could come on in and make it. Let me see. Who are you waving out?
I love me some LOL. Can you see back there? I love me some LOL.
Yeah, I
OMG.
see your LL collection.
I love them. Oh my gosh. My girlfriend got me one. And after she got me that one for my birthday, it was downhill.
I hear you.
Everyone
Kenny,
come.
you're right. The eyes are sisters. They are not twins. They are not. Yeah, she's still flawless, Carol. She's still flawless. I'm glad to have her. Glad they thought enough to do her. Love her hair. Love her hair. And you guys will see a lot more of Miss Flawless Beauty because when I ordered the Style Lab, I didn't keep all the dolls, but I kept all the fashions. So I'm gonna have to spread out all those fashions with the few Style Lab dolls that I did, that I did keep. So
Yeah.
I'll be trying them on shortly.
Yeah, she's a favorite of mine. Like I said, when I got her, like, cause when I came back to Fashion Royalty, so I think she was like my second Fashion Royalty that I bought when I came back. So
All
I was
right.
like, okay, I love her. And then I got online, people were like saying she was ugly. I was like, what on earth? What's going on?
I like her, like I say, but it
She's one
may
of
be
my
just a spring
favorites.
on my dolls. But I
She's
still
one of my
appreciate
favorites.
her, flaws and all.
She's one of my
Anika said,
favorites.
Anika said she had to check her girl. Her girl is flawless.
Mine
All
is
right.
too. I think it's just you, Teacher.
It's just me. Okay.
I'm
I can
sorry.
accept that. You can't bat 1,000 all the time. So it's
And,
all
but,
good.
but she's still pretty. Like, I couldn't tell on yours that she had issues. So, because, I don't really be like,
And I don't either usually, but I know when I was doing the video on her, I just
uh-huh.
kept looking at her and something just kept saying, something is odd. And I couldn't think of what it was. And then when I just picked her up, I said, oh, okay, that's what it is. The eyes are not symmetrical. That's what it
You see
is.
my new baby, Kylie.
Carol, look at Kylie, the blonde fro. He says that's the last one. I don't believe that.
She is.
I don't believe it's the last one.
She's my last one. Because
Okay.
I have 5, so that's enough.
That's it? Just 5?
That's enough. I'm not getting no more. No more. We done.
Well, I'm holding the fort down because I only have one.
Oh.
I still haven't got my second one yet.
No, I got them, and then of course I loved them so much. I was just like, okay. All right.
Hi, Pink Diva. Thank you for joining us. So, for everybody that's here, just to give you a little background history, I met Cal at the first Baltimore Fashion Royalty Convention because he attended with Mel Carmel Doll. They've been fast friends for a very long time. And I met Kyle, and I still laugh to this day at some of the things that he said to me and some of the things that he shared with me. We had a ball, and I knew we had a special moment at that pool party. And it was a spectacle going on at that convention. It was me, you, and Carol, and my cousin sitting on those little settees right near the pool. And some of those guys were just carrying on in their little cha-cha line or whatever that was they were doing. And Kyle looked at me and he said, you know what? He says, I'm gay. He said, but that is a mess. And I howled with laughter.
There was a lot going on.
That we were going to be friends, and we have been ever since then. It was the Hi-Fi convention. And one of the things that struck me about him, everywhere Kyle went, he had the first nausea. And she had on this fabulous, like, denim suit, denim jacket with long maxi skirt. And I think she had boots on or what have you. And every time I saw him with her, she was dressed and she was in some kind of fabulous pose. And I was like, wow, he really knows how to pose those dolls. So that's why I decided to have Kyle come on with me, because posing my dolls is not one of my strengths. But being friends with Kyle, he has certain standards for your doll pictures.
Not for your dolls. Like, your standard for your dolls is your standard.
No. Listen, it was an educational thing, because that's the whole point. We learn from each other. And he pointed out, how bad the stray hairs when you take pictures of your dolls. So that's when I started paying more attention. Sometimes we get so engrossed in, doing the hair and doing all this stuff and getting the right outfit in the background. And then when we finally get it all together and take the picture, we realize that the picture is marred because you didn't take the time to just tweak the hair a little, or
Right.
Make sure the hand is placed correctly on the hip. And it takes away from the quality of the picture that the story that you're trying to tell. So
Right.
I learned a lot from you in that way. When I started buying digital cameras and cell phones started having cameras and all this stuff on there. So that's why I brought you here, because I know, everybody can benefit from a little information. Hey, I dolled it. So, so do your thing. How are we going to start this? Because I know.
I brought, like I have, of course, I collect a little bit of everything, right? So I decided to use different bodies to show, like, even with limited bodies, you can pose, right? So first I'm
Okay.
gonna start with a stiffy, because I call them a stiffy. So we know that fashionista Barbies are on stiff bodies. The articulation is only here, 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 and here, right?
Right.
So normally, if you have a doll, a fashionista Barbie, and you have her, most people have them waiting for the bus, which means you just have them like this. You know what I
Or
mean?
leaning up against the
Or
wall,
leaning
or
against the wall like this, right? But you could take, even with this limited articulation, for me, I always like to have movement in my posing. So what I'll do is I will automatically make movement, and then you just move the arm back, move the leg back, so that you have movement in the pose. You know what I mean?
all right.
And if you look at her, see, you actually pose. And you can do a sway leg pose with these dolls. You can't do the S curve, but you can do a pose that makes her very dynamic. Oh, I gotta see what I'm doing. Yeah, it makes her very dynamic, and she can still show off fashions that are appropriate. And it's still not, and it's not waiting for the bus. Like, it's not a waiting for the bus pose, because all you do is tilt the head. You know what I mean? Turn the head, move an arm, especially on these bodies, because articulation is only the four places. And if you
Right.
cross a leg, it makes such a difference. A cross leg makes a huge difference.
And it does.
So, and that's just the basic limited articulation on the doll. And for Barbie, I mean, Barbie has so many different personalities. You can pose her any kind of way. Sweet,
Okay.
sassy. Because some dolls, in my opinion, shouldn't be posed sassy. They should be posed sweet. But I'll get to that.
Okay.
So that's a stiffy. And it works on all stiff bodies. And, you know, a lot of times we don't have the bodies to rebody a stiffy. We'll have to stick with it as it is. Because we know that this skin tone for this body shape, it only came out on what, one or two dolls. And I only have one doll with this body that's articulated. So
Okay.
the rest of them I have to keep on stiffy bodies. And I love the body. You know what I mean? I love this like plus size body. So I'll keep it on this body and just pose it as such. So that's the
No, we're
stiffy.
not skipping the bus comment. That's just a term he uses because it came up a couple of weeks ago when I was rearranging my shelves, and particularly the Barbie side. And I had all standing there straight with their arms to the shoulder, like, they were lined up against the wall, getting ready to go into military grade school or something. And he made that comment. He says, "Oh, girl," he says, "you need to get those dolls up off those backgrounds and on those stands. They look like they're all standing out there to catch the bus." So
Right.
that's where it came from.
Right. Because I live in New
Oh,
York City. So we know when you're waiting for the bus, well, not now recently because of the pandemic, but before you waited for the bus, you see people just lined up waiting for the bus, waiting to get on the bus. So yeah, that's where it came from.
well, thank you, Patrice. The comment about my hair, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. So then I'm gonna move on to like semi-articulated, right? So
Okay.
for me, that's a 3-click knee and then an articulated arm where there's like a bendy arm. You know what I mean? That's hard plastic, and then a
Okay.
3-click knee, which is like
All
the
right.
typical Barbie knee, right? So with this, you should think that it will give you a more variety in posing, but it kind of doesn't, depending on how the arm is gonna pose.
Okay.
But you still can do the same thing. Like you just, I mean, for this body, it's not gonna do an S curve. You just have to click the knee. I like a bent knee. I think it's coy. So my girls usually are seen with a bent knee, and you just, let's see, can
I
you
think
see
I
that?
have one here. Oh, this is what Mel did when her and Theo were up in my room. They posed Oprah like this
Oh yeah, look at Oprah. Oprah.
with the bent knee.
Yeah, a bent knee is everything. See, it will change. It changes everything. If you just bend the knee in, because this articulation of leg doesn't go in, so you just bend the knee in, and then just tilt the head down and tilt the head, and there you go. And that is simple to do. You know what I mean? And when you put her on a stand, she'll look like there's movement. You know what I mean? You could still do a splay leg pose on this body as well. Um,
Okay.
and if you're gonna do it, I mean, you can even do a straight leg pose, but it's just about how you have the body
And
posed.
it does. when their head is turned, it does, and their hands are out, it looks like they're caught in motion. So
Right. Right, exactly. So you can still not have to, suppose you don't want to have the feet across the stand, you still want the legs to be together. You could still do that with this type of body and just bend, like I said, just bend the knee and then just leave it. And it'll give you a shape. I mean, it'll give your doll a body shape versus that like, um, you know, I'm waiting for a mugshot type of ordeal. So yeah, I mean, and that's for this body with again a articulated hard plastic arm and a 3-click and a 3-click knee. So it makes a huge difference.
well, I was definitely thinking about it when you were talking to me about all my Barbies lined up there. We were on our little conference call and everything. I said, oh, every time I would put one on the case, I said, well, let me see what I can do with her. So everybody has some slight little pose
And
that's
you know what?
standing in there now.
The small, like, I mean, even a small movement makes such a big difference. Even just the smallest thing makes like a huge difference. And then like there's super action Jenny bodies like Susie. She has like kind of a super action body. So, and with Susie, she's a doll to me that's sweet. So I would never pose her overly sexual,
Okay.
sexy, or anything. I will always pose my Susies like in a sweet kind of manner where she's just like,
Very
innocent.
demure.
Yeah, innocent. Turn that head to the side. You know what I mean? Tilt that head down. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And there you go. And then if that's on your shelf like that, right, then it's a look. You know what I mean? It's a service. Like she's not just standing there waiting. Like, I mean, and some people love that. Like some people love that aesthetic of just that like uh nutcracker. Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. And it makes it. I mean, right. It makes such a difference. Like it makes a huge difference. Oh, let's
Okay.
do. And then so boy dolls are the same way. Boy dolls. One thing
Now,
about boy dolls is that it
I
depends.
really need help with the male dolls because I just can't. It. You know what? That articulated I can do a lot better, but I have a lot of trouble posing those Homs dolls. Even though they
So
have articulations, there to me, their body mechanic is not natural to me.
so I don't have one yet. So we're gonna have to work with this Ken body. Well, this
All
is
right, let's work
this
with
is
it.
Flavor's Tray, but this works on all male dolls. So for me, the biggest thing about my male dolls is that I like them to have more open body poses where it's more open. So I always
Mm-hmm.
have the bodies like more open, have the pose more open. You know what I mean? And then you can just twist. But the same thing works with them. A cross leg will still do the same thing for your male doll that it does for your female doll.
Okay,
You know what I mean? See that? Like the
I'm
cross leg will still
trying.
do the same thing.
Okay,
The same thing with movement. Like his shirt raising up. Come on now. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to give up his clothes when I do get my first FR guy, because these are Obitsu and A Zone, so they're gonna go on my boys. But anyway, so yeah, see, I mean, it's the same thing, just a more open body. Or if you're gonna bend, you can still bend. It's the same type of thing. You know what I mean? Or if you wanted to pose like woo, you could do that as well.
okay.
But it's just about like utilizing the body to the best of your ability. And
Yeah,
it's
I'm gonna have to work on these guys because I do have trouble trying to get them to look more realistic in their poses.
right. And it's funny because I always pose my dolls, I think, pretty well, but I really got into the posing when I started collecting Tonner. And I met Robert Tonner and
Mhm.
Tom Courtney, and they like we did this posing thing at my doll club, and I was just like, okay. So, and old Tyler wasn't even articulated. She was articulated at the elbows, shoulders, legs, and knees.
That's right. That's right.
So
Hi, girlie.
that really taught me how to pose. But As far as, like I said, the boys, simple is always best for me. Still not waiting for the bus though.
That's
Still not
right.
waiting for the bus. Okay, he's chill, but he's not waiting for the bus.
Let me get my dude and see what I can do with him.
Yeah. Just decide your intention. You know what I mean? Like make your intention known. So if that's an open body pose, then make it an open body pose. If it's not, if you want to do something softer with him, do something softer with him. It is completely up to you. But the doll is also going to speak to you as well, right? The aesthetic of the
Right.
doll is going to speak to you in the posing. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
that also, for me, is super important. Very important. I feel like I should have the blonde tray, but I didn't love them. This is the only one I loved. Yeah, I mean, you just have to, right, that looks good. What doll is that? He is actually good looking.
That's the Texas A&M
Oh,
King.
everybody has him but me. Oh, okay. Very well. Moving on. So then you have dolls who have kind of articulated bodies, but the posing is difficult. So like
Yeah.
Rainbow High, right? Rainbow High has super articulation, but they don't the posing is rough because of the space between the arms and the body is like not good. So when I pose my Rainbow High, they always get very simple poses because while she look like she can do a lot, she can do a lot. So she's always getting a simple pose, always
Okay.
getting something very calm, very simple because her joints are not going to do that. They look like they'll do it, but they ain't doing it. And again, a simple turn to the head will do so much. Like it changes everything. Or arms out. If you don't want to do nothing else, arms down, hands out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Fingers out, spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers. And then you can, I mean, and if you want to do an open leg pose, you can also do an open leg pose. For me, I'm always cognizant to make sure that it doesn't look vulgar. Like my girls don't look vulgar. But I mean, and it's simple, you know, for me, it's about the intention of the doll. Right.
Now I think she's one of the very sweet ones. I wouldn't want to sexualize her pose.
Right. And she looks very sweet in that Teen Skipper outfit. Come on, Teen Skipper.
Love Teen Skipper. Hey, you're down low.
Right. So I'm going to put her on the floor. So now we'll move to Made to Move. Made to Move is the easiest body to pose on the planet.
Okay, now this is Made to Move. She's on a Made to Move.
So here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. So I'm going to start flat, right? I'm going to start with just like I'm waiting for the bus or I robbed the bank. Here's my prison mugshot pose, right? Right?
Okay.
Made to Move to me is so amazing because with Made to Move, you can do the S. The S pose is absolutely everything on any doll that'll do it. The S pose.
Let's S pose.
The S pose will automatically give you movement. It'll give you sass. If you look at her body, go from her head, it goes into an S. See?
All right, hold it there. I'm working on it.
And the benefit is that when you sit down, if you're taking pictures and you take these pictures, the pose is going to really translate through the picture. Why not her skirt? Her skirt is twisted. Sorry, girl. So, okay. So, S pose, right? I guess I could have. Okay, so we're going to go back to waiting for the bus. She waiting for the bus, right? So
waiting for the bus.
So S pose. Whatever direction your S goes, right? My S usually goes this way. So head, this whole twist, right? This, right? The whole thing, the whole torso. Head the opposite way. So body this way, head this way, right?
Okay.
And then arms. Whatever you're gonna do with the arms, you can leave. I'm gonna leave them arms just out.
Okay.
Okay, and then legs. For me, I love a cross leg. So there's a cross leg, and there you go.
All right. It might be the dress is a little limiting because it's very tight.
Here we go. Let's do it. Okay. Start in the bus, right? Start like she waiting for the
Okay.
bus. My
All
bus
right.
about to come. I got my 275 Metro card. Let's hit it, right? All right. So look, take her shoulders like this and go like that.
Okay.
So she looks like this. Hey,
Hey.
right? Take the
Okay.
head and push it the opposite way. Bend the head the
All
opposite
right.
way. Yeah, but straight on. That face should be she should be looking head on, straight
Okay.
on. Yes, and then the hands, whatever you want to do with them. So I left my hands out, and I'm actually gonna leave my hands like that. I'm gonna leave my hands like they were bent,
Okay.
and then I'm across the leg, and I'm gonna keep it pushing, and that's the S pose.
Hold on. I'm working.
No, work it out. Get your life. Yeah. I mean, okay. It's not as dynamic,
Let me
but
try on another dot because, like I said, that dress is kind of restricting some of her
okay,
movement. Let me
okay.
find another.
And it's just about how satisfied you are with it as well. I'm looking for some drama, so my girls are always, they always doing some mess. So
All right. Let's see.
and on Barbie, the S pose is a little bit more demure, but on a fashion royalty, the S pose is everything. I'll show you. I'm gonna show you the difference.
Okay.
And this is one of my favorite fashionistas, Grace. I love her. Like, it's so easy. When you finally get it, like when it clicks, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's so easy. Okay, so put her in the waiting for the bus.
Okay.
Like waiting for tonight, but she's waiting for the bus, waiting for the bus. Oh. Okay, take
All
these
right.
take these shoulders,
Uh-huh.
go like that.
Okay.
Okay, it helps if you have the little spirit fingers, so you, right?
Right.
Take the head like this.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the
All
start of
right.
the S. Okay, so for this one, which I got to look at it, I'm gonna pose her hands on her. I'm gonna put one hand on her hip, and because I love that fashionistas can touch the back of their heads, I'm gonna put one hand on the back of her head, still in my S, right? And then I'm gonna, for this intents and purposes, I'm gonna open the legs instead of my, what you call it, and I'm gonna bend.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna try that. Hey, Daryl, how you doing?
And I'm gonna brush because I hate my girl's hair to be not in order. See? Right, exactly.
There you go. All right.
Exactly. Right. There you
All right,
go.
so guys, y'all heard we have the famous S pose from Kyle. So we learned that today. So
It's
that
a
was
good
worth
pose.
our
The S
time
pose
being
is
here. We
the,
learned
look.
the S
The S pose is
pose.
everything. And look, we're gonna do it on a fashion royalty doll, so I can show you
Okay.
how dramatic it looks when you do fashion royalty. I'm gonna use one of my favorite new girls I got since I came back to fashion royalty. One of my
I'm doing
favorite.
good. All right. Who is that?
Eugenia.
Oh, okay. Modernist Eugenia.
All right, so we're gonna do the S pose. Same thing. We're gonna go with the body this way, right?
Okay.
See that? You can see the tilt, right?
Yep.
See the shift? We're gonna take the head this way,
Okay.
right? And then Eugenia could actually stay like this, but we ain't doing that. So then I'm going to do, because you know Fashion Royalty have to give you everything. So she's going to give me the hands on the hip pose. And then I'm across them legs. See?
All right.
And that's almost the same pose that Barbie had. It's just so much more dramatic because it's Fashion Royalty. And when you do an open leg with the S pose, it is fabulous because, hold on, let's do the reverse. Let's do an open leg. Let's do one arm down. See that? And you still follow the S. I gotta look. Yeah, you still follow the S. You know what I mean?
Let me find me somebody else who has a better outfit on that I can pose. Let me see.
And I'll do another one. I'm gonna do another S pose. So, and also like for me, I'm always cognizant on where my joints are falling. So I don't want the ball joint of the elbow on the outside of the elbow because that's creepy.
Okay.
But yeah, even, and then you can actually follow the curve of the body with the hand because that's another, with the arm, because that's another method of the S pose is the, like, see how the hand is following the,
Yes.
and it's just sitting, and it's just sitting there. But certainly she don't look like she has no intention. You know what I mean? And then for some of my pictures, when I do poses like this, what I'll do is, for my picture purposes, I'll tilt my doll to the side so that I have that whole thing. And then I will crop to here, just so I have that movement here. And then I have the intention here. But if you look, the doll is fully posed all the way down.
Okay. I'm trying.
Like mean old Tyra used to tell the girls they know what the top of their body is doing, but they don't know what the bottom part is doing. I know.
Okay.
I know what the bottom part of my girl's body is doing. Tyra. It's your mean self. Yeah, but you can see I'm spraying and brushing. Let's see. Yeah, and so if you
doesn't have as much of a gangster lean.
Right, and if you take that hand, the arm that's bent, if you pull it in, look, see, here's my arm, right? You pull it in and pull it right here, the bend is right here.
Okay.
And you bend the hand down onto her thigh, then that adds intention.
Okay.
And then if she's holding a purse, then she could actually hold the purse against her and she's still holding the purse. Right. And that adds more realism versus like just holding the purse like, I mean, and no shade to people who do this because I understand people do use those acrylic bands to hold the doll purses, but can you at least put the doll's purse in her hand instead of having it dangling off the acrylic? I mean, off of the rubber band and right.
Exactly, because I have a band on this one, but I have her hand wrapped around the bottom of the purse, so it looks like she's holding it.
Right, versus you got the rubber band, but then it's just dangling like, yeah, look at me. So, yeah, like I said, and then there's sitting poses. So, of course, Fashion Royalty will still stay with fashion. I mean, they sit really well, like because you know
the body that has the little bendy waist part.
Oh, the new face, right?
The FR2 bodies, the one before yeah, to me, they were the best ones for sitting. A lot of people didn't like that midsection in them, but to me, they did the best sitting poses.
Yeah, my Dominique has that body. She's somewhere around here. Oh, she's up top there. Yeah.
Oh, look at there.
And then, if you turn the head to the side, there's a different, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And the thing that I do when I'm posing my girls is I remember that if I can't do it, my girls can't do it. So
Oh, all right.
ain't no exorcist necks going on. If my girl's head is not gonna be, she ain't gonna be sitting like this, and her head be, you know what I mean?
But that's good tip. So, we have to remember that when we're trying to pose our dolls to kind of mimic what it would look like if we did it. And we forget that because they're toys. And then when you take the picture, you have this grand idea of what you want your picture to look like. But then when you take it, it's like, wait a minute, what's going
Womp
on? And then
womp
you're like, well, I would sit like
womp.
that.
Right. It's like womp
Exactly.
womp womp.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's one of my things is like if I can't do it, my girls are not gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because it don't for me, it just doesn't look it don't look real, you know? And sitting, my girls are ladies, so they always sit with their legs crossed.
Hmm.
Unless I'm going for like that fashion moment where, there's an open leg situation.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking
You
about.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go for that moment. But for the most part, legs are always closed,
Okay.
especially in things like this, because you can see her hoo ha. So
Yeah. No, we're not showing no hula.
yeah, she ain't got the goods on sale, so we ain't displaying them. So, but yeah, I mean, a cross leg, like a pretty sit, and then my thing is you have such beautiful dolls, right? But you pose them like linebackers, so I feel like there's so much grace and beauty and just the simplicity of posing. But you know what I'm gonna do? Speaking of which, I'm gonna do that pose that everyone does with their fashion dolls. That convex concave shoulder that everyone
Uh-huh.
loves to do. I'm gonna do it. I don't do it on my girls. I don't think it's gorgeous, but I don't think her shoulders are even gonna do it. No, her shoulders are not gonna hunch in. You know that hunched in
I know that,
shoulder,
like, yeah.
girl. No. I mean, and there's no need for me to do it because my girls they can sell it without it. You know what I mean? Right, right. And like I said, a cross leg will do you, it'll serve you every time.
Okay. I'm happy.
A cross leg and a bent leg will help you out every time, let me tell you.
All right.
Even if you have a whole bunch of dolls on display and you don't want to go and take each one down, if you go through each one of them and bend an arm or bend a leg or cross a leg, it'll make a huge difference. Complete huge difference. And then if you have a limited doll like my Kylie, she is articulated. I love her. It's my girl. I love her.
Life
But
love.
but she does pose well though. But the fact that she has the interchangeable hands makes a huge difference as well.
It does. And I need to find my hands. I still have the original hands that Theo put in there, but she gave me a set of hands. I just need to find them because I ended up having to pack, you know,
Right.
for the convention and everything. They're packed away, but I have her somewhere. But I like my Blythe doll for that reason because she is so cute. Let me see if I can get her. One
Yeah,
second.
and so for my Blythes, I don't ever dress them sexy. I don't want them to be baby dolls because to me they're not baby dolls because they have breasts. But I want them to be like sassy young girls. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm always at. That's where I'm always trying to go with them. Sassy young girl, which is why like the original Blythe body, I don't like that body because it's more like so, and that's more of like a little girlish body, where these are more like teenagers and more like sassy.
And see, I have a different view because to me, um, just for me, she's my little girl, but she's a sassy little girl.
Don't she got boobs?
Yeah, she do, but I put her in things where that's not so noticeable. But she's wearing Sparkle Girl.
Yeah,
I
this is
think
a
it's so
sparkle girl.
cute.
This is a sparkle girl's dress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then she has on Jenny shoes. Yeah, yeah. See, I mean that's cute. Yeah, my Blythe. I mean, she could dress like that occasionally, but we all about the drama around here. So, but the same poses work for her as well. Open legs, closed leg twist. Except for no S, of course, because
No,
her head
no,
is
it's
not, her head
no,
will not be, won't articulate like that. So no
no,
S.
she won't.
So you gotta just kind of like, ain't this hair incredible?
Yes.
Right? We twinning.
Look at it. I went and bought bows for mine.
I know they're pretty. Yeah, she got like a butterfly beret in there. I think it came
I
from a
really do.
Barbie.
I never thought I would enjoy these Blythe dolls like that. And to be honest, I only jumped on the bandwagon because I got tired of looking at Mel and Theo's dolls. I said, one of these days I'm gonna get me one, just one. So I opened that pull-up doll, and that kind of started. I said, well, I'm gonna get a Blythe, and that'll be her friend. And that's how I ended up with this one.
Yeah, I said I was gonna get one. I was telling like Alfonso I'm gonna get a Blythe. I'm gonna get a Blythe, and I was like, I'm gonna get one. And now 4 later, I got my last one.
Yeah, 5 in. I
Right.
think Carol, I think one of them, I think Theo has like 8 of those things, and Carol's probably catching up to her now. Hey, Reese. Hi, Nanny Young. Welcome to the pose class with Kyle Jones-Bey, my dear
Hi,
friend.
hi, hi,
He's showing us how to
Ola.
pose these dolls so they don't look like they're waiting for
Waiting
the
for the
bus.
bus. Yes, not waiting for tonight. Waiting for the bus. It's not cute. But yeah, like I said, and I put shoes on all my dolls, so that makes a difference. But I
Yeah.
also wanted to show how you can, and then once you're done posing, how you can
Mm.
put them on the stand, and it's perfectly fine. By the way, I hate these stands with this thing on it. I
Yes.
wish that they were normal saddle stands. That would be a lot better. Because these like crotch rockets are not, they don't work for me. I hate them. Um, but yeah, and you put your girl on the stand, and she could still look.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got her pose. You did that.
And she's on the stand now. So, and for me, I live in a studio apartment. So if people come in and they see my dolls, it adds more of like a museum quality to my display
Yeah.
versus they just lined up in here. Because the first thing non-doll collectors will say is, "Oh, you got all those dolls. I'm scared." Like, I mean, every doll collector has heard it, I'm sure. And
Yes.
I just tell them, listen, that means you better be nice to me, because if you're not, you know what's gonna happen when you wake up. You're gonna see one of the girls. You're gonna see one of the girls standing over you with a knife.
Yeah, I've had that comment many times. So somebody told me, she said, you're going to wake up and all of them going to be surrounding you in the bed. I'm like, okay.
And they love me. I take good care of them. I've heard that. And I say, and they love me, and they
Exactly.
ain't gonna do nothing because I take good care of them. So
Exactly.
you better be worried, not me. You need to be worried. Yeah, and then like a fashion routine, because the legs are so long, like you can do so much with them, like the posing of them. And they do a good job posing them themselves, like when they do their retailer promo, they do a good job posing them as well. So
I hear you, Kenny. Yeah, these girls around here, they be paying rent. So don't come in here messing with them.
yeah, like I said, I am, and then the bodies too. Like for me, my favorite bodies right now are the FR6 bodies and the color
Mm-hmm.
infusion bodies. The color infusion body to me is it's such a posable and beautiful body. And it reminds me of more like a Volks body, more like a Century Model type body, because it's kind of action figure-y. That's the first body,
That's the
right?
first body.
Oh yeah. Oh, I hate
You
that
know, you
body.
can't do much with that at
I
all.
can do anything. I can still pose that body. I just hate it. The same rules for my stiffies will apply to that body.
I'm being careful with her because those bodies are brittle, and every time I turn her head, I hear a crack.
Right. Well,
So I know I'm gonna end up having to rebody her.
so I got the first Adele, right? I got her offline, and when I got her, the person, they packed her pretty okay. Her neck was broke. Her head was rolling around in the box. Her neck was cracked. Yeah, rolling around in the box. So
Wow.
so I had to rebody her to a FR6 body, which no, now I think, I put her on a meteor body now. But
Oh,
Yeah, she's on the
Okay.
media body. Yeah, she's on the media body. I love those bodies. Media
Yeah.
bodies as well are super amazing bodies. Like, let me see if I can grab one.
Hey, Mel. Hi, Costello Jet. Welcome. Glad y'all tuned in for
Oh,
some of Kyle's
oh,
pose
thank
class.
you, thank you, thank you. We is
Strike a pose.
we is here. Uh, let's see. Okay, okay. Oh, okay.
Tell Mel, hey.
Hey, Mel. Melly Mel Mel. Hey, girl. Hey. Okay, so look, here's that body with the twisty waist thing, which I love. I love this body.
Okay, yes.
Love it. It gives you the complete S pose because you can go, look, I didn't even do anything and look at her. All I did was
Okay.
the start of the S. But I think she can do that concave. Yeah, she can do that.
Uh-huh.
She can do that concave weight arm thing that people tend to think is high fashion for your dolls, which I think is it's all right. I mean, if that's your go-to,
It's all right.
yeah. See, look, if that's your go-to, it's all right. Yeah.
Let me see. I think she has it. Yeah, okay. She has one like that. Let me try this on her. Shoulders that way. Head that way.
And then arms in and back, like arms like in and hunched, and then
Okay.
but I would really have to, for my own preference, I'd have to have the arm down, cause yeah. And this is a little Barbie, this model of the moment, I think. No. What was the Barbies, the fashiony Barbies? So that were on those, what is this? Not model of the moment. Top model Barbie.
Oh, okay.
That's the romper.
Oh, all right. So we have some questions. Listen, Kenny Doll wants to know, how do you pose the doll when she has a side eye?
So when the doll has a side eye, do I have a girl with a side? So when a doll has a side eye, it depends on what your intent is, right? So if you intend, she always going to be looking to the side regardless. She's never going to look straight on, right? So, but you can turn the head so that even if she's looking off in the distance, it's still face forward. So she still will be face forward, head like face forward, eyes turn this way, but you're going to turn the body in the opposite way that the eyes are facing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because if you keep the body like this, then
I'm
all
going to
you're
get to
going to
the question
see
too.
then all you're going to see is the doll looking this way or that way. There's not going to be any other motion or intent behind
Okay.
what she's doing. She's just going to be standing there and looking to the side like, what y'all doing? What you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. See, I run into that a lot with the Poppy Parker dolls because they're always looking, side eye. So the body needs to go in the opposite direction that the eyes are going.
So right. So if she's looking this way, right, then you're gonna make the energy go in the opposite direction so she's not looking, and you're not gonna turn the head in the direction that her eyes are looking. Because then you'll
Okay.
lose the complete eye. You know what I
Okay.
mean? The head should be straight on or turned in the opposite direction, but the body should always have movement because otherwise she'll just be standing there looking to the sides, thinking like somebody, one's like 6 feet apart. Like, you know what I mean? You're in my social distance.
All right. We have another question from Patrice. Hold on 1 second. And she says, she's asking both of us who our favorite IT girls are. For me, any type of Adele is always going to be my favorite. Right now, my number one favorite Adele is the convention upgrade doll, the La Petite Robe Jour that came in the white dress. She's my number one favorite right now. To me, I think she is one of the most beautiful versions of that doll, and she reminds me of Something Sexy Adele. I realize that that's why I liked her so much, is because that lip is pretty much the same lip as the Something Sexy, and I think she has one of the most sweetest and prettiest feminine faces on the Adele doll. So right now it's Petite Jour. So that's who I like right now. But for me, you can't go wrong with Adele. I can tell you who my least favorite is. Out of all the Adeles that were ever made, Scarlet Woman Adele is my least favorite out of all of them. But I'm still gonna get her because I want a complete collection of her. But she's one I've had several times to get her. I had a chance to get her at retail way back when, and I just didn't because I didn't like the shape of her head, and she just had I just didn't like her. For some reason, she threw me off. And then I realized as years went by, I didn't like the shape of her eyebrows. She had a huge forehead that they didn't cover with hair. And so she's my least favorite. But
What
Petite
Adele
Jewel
was
is my
that?
very favorite right now. Huh?
What Adele was that?
Scarlet Woman. She was a convention exclusive from several years ago. I'm
What she
talking like
look like?
2008, 2009, back in then. And she had on this red dress, and like I said, she was my least favorite.
So I'm gonna come with visuals. So my favorite fashion royalty character in general is, drum roll, Jordan.
Oh, okay.
She's my favorite. Has always been my favorite. When I said I was gonna collect fashion royalty, I was telling Alfonso, like, I'm gonna get a Jordan. I'm gonna get a Jordan. I'm gonna get a Jordan. And as luck has it, I was able to shake my money maker enough to get this Jordan, the first Jordan, Coquette Jordan. So Jordan is my favorite character in the
Not your
fashion
money
royalty.
maker.
Jordan is my favorite character. However, one of my favorite dolls, which everyone's gonna get, Alfonso Sherwin, we'll see, he's on this thing. Hey, Alfonso. He always talks
Hey,
about me.
Alfonso. Hey, Mama Jenny Bear. Mama Bear Jenny
I
dolls.
I love this doll, Darby Kenner. I love her. Because I love Darcy Covergirl back in the day, and Darby Kenner was a play on Darcy Covergirl.
Exactly.
So I love her, and she looked like Darcy Covergirl.
She does. I think that was a great set of color infusion dolls from that year. I think they hit the nail on the head for all of them.
Oh yeah, and then my other favorite is Kiki. This Kiki.
Now that I have to confess, I do not like that blonde hair on that doll. I do not like her. I like it on you, but
Yes,
for her,
I love her.
Oh my God,
so
I just
pretty.
can't get with that.
Yeah, I have the black haired one too.
I'm really not a fan of blonde hair on a lot of black dolls anyway, but
right.
For me, I don't know what it is. And I think maybe just to be open-minded, I think if her makeup wasn't, her screening weren't the colors that it was, then I would probably like it more. Like, I like the one with the black hair. That's the one I'm going to get.
So
but that blonde...
the one with the black hair is the one I like the least because
really?
Her makeup seems so, it's like kind of obvious. This makeup to me is so soft and so pretty.
I'm gonna have to take some time looking at that again then.
And then look,
how y'all enable me.
Yeah, I love her. Like, she's definitely, because like I said, I have them both. I do have the black haired one. But unfortunately the black haired one is still in her original outfit, which my doll collecting friends know if a doll stay in her original clothes,
You know what, Kenny? I think so too. I think maybe somebody needs to darken her roots too, and maybe that'll work. And let's see, I think Kenny's got another question. He says, how do you do great poses without using a doll stand? Any tip?
Yeah, so if you're gonna, you mean like for pictures. So if you're gonna do it and you want to have the doll have support, you want to have the doll have support and she has no support, you still can take a doll stand like a Kaiser. You can take that Kaiser, you take that Kaiser, right? You bend it forward, you extend the Kaiser, bend it forward, right? Just like that. If you have the skinnier ones, they're better. Because then once you bend the Kaiser forward, you take your doll, you lean her on the Kaiser, not this big one, the skinny one. You lean her on the Kaiser and you use the skinny to hide her leg. Her leg will hide the skinny part of the Kaiser, and she will stand up.
Okay. Hold that up a little bit so I can see it. Okay.
But because this is the fat Kaiser, it's farther back. But if you use
I
the
see.
skinny Kaiser, it'll work. Because using the fat Kaiser, you can. Oh, my camera
Oh,
working.
okay. I see how. So you got it propped up like that. I
Right,
got you.
right. And for picture purposes, all you need to do is to hold it for the picture. Or, I mean,
That's
if you
true.
want to display it like that, you can actually display it like that. You just don't want to use this fat top part
Hi,
because,
M. Remington. How are you? The doll that he's using right now, Patrice, is Modernist Eugenia.
she's one of my
Hi,
favorites.
Roy. How you doing? Thanks for coming in.
She's so beautiful. Oh, very
She is. That
beautiful.
is a gorgeous doll.
I got her. Look, so one of my really good friends, when I first got to Fashion Royalty, I said, well, look, Fashion Royalty is expensive. I'm not going to be paying people's mortgages for these damn dolls. So he was like, get the heads and then get the bodies and then just get the heads later. And that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
It works out. So, but yeah, that's how I pose my girls when I don't want them to be on stands, especially for pictures. I just prop them
Okay.
up. And there was also a tip where you could actually, I mean, a straw is kind of too flimsy, but if you have a stronger straw and you cut
Like a
it,
wooden dowel too,
mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm,
when I take my dolls outside, I'll pick up a twig and place them in front of a tree trunk, and then I have a twig that's
mm-hmm,
in the dirt holding
mm-hmm,
that doll up in the middle of their back, and
mm-hmm.
their leg is covering the twig so you can't see it from the front. So
Right.
you can use that. And you know what? You could also use those little saddle stand pieces in the Fashion Royalty doll to do the same thing, because you know that little clear piece that goes between their legs, that will come off. You can screw that off, and you can use that extending rod to prop that against something and poke that in the, in the small of their backs, so you can pose too with that. So that's a good tip, using a wooden dowel or something like that, or the little let me see if I can show it to you. Oops, excuse me.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that.
Man
Camera
down.
malfunction.
And
Hold on one second.
while you're doing that too, I also want to say, like, everything has intention for the pose of your doll. So the hair, the clothes, if you pose the doll in the S pose but her clothes are wonky, it's going to mess the whole thing up. If you pose your doll and her hair is not situated properly, it's going to mess up your whole intent.
So
Um,
here's the telescoping stand. You can pull this out of the base, of course. It comes that way. You can use this to prop that doll up.
right.
You can use it like this and prop it up in the back of the doll. Let me see if I can find a doll here. Like so.
Right.
And that
Yep.
will make her stand, and you won't see it from the back.
So where you sticking that thing up her butt?
No, I got it in the small of her back.
Oh, okay. I was like, we got up her
And
butt.
got it at an angle.
Okay. Okay.
And you prop that against something, and that will hold the doll up.
Okay, teacher, I smell what you're stepping in. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. Very well. I'm here for it. But yeah, intent is everything. Like I said, if your doll, for me, posing goes down to everything, the doll's hair, the outfit, everything. So I like everything to be like as crisp as possible, because it'll mess up my pose if it's not. For me, it'll mess up my
Right.
pose.
And that goes back to what I said about you, telling us, we invest all this money and time into, buying the dolls, the fashions and all that stuff. And then, we get all this stuff together and take the picture, and we forgot to finesse her hair, forgot to clip the strays or get a little toothbrush. I like to use a toothbrush with a little water and dampen it and kind of smooth out the hair as much as possible. And I was really bad about this, taking pictures and stray hairs were covering the face. And Kyle told me about that. He says, you know what? That would have been a really great picture had those stray hairs not been coming across her eye and her lip. So now when I take a picture, I have trained myself to look for that.
I have deleted whole sets of pictures because hairs were just
Yeah.
there, and I
Yeah.
didn't catch it when I took the picture. So
Yeah.
I've deleted whole pictures, like, and be like,
And
oh
they
my
were
God, I
probably
love that.
fabulous poses, great setup, everything. And then that one little thing, ruins it. And at first, I was annoyed by it, but then I said, well, it's right. I look at all the energy, the time I took in finding the accessories, the right outfit for the right doll, all of this stuff, the furniture, the diorama, what have you. And then I took this picture, and that's the thing that messed it up.
And I mean, I approach my doll collecting so differently because now, especially from collecting BJDs, and we had the BJD meetups here in New York, and then we had the doll meetups here, and we were out in like Bryant Park or out in like the shared spaces. So your doll was actually on display. So I was always proud to have my girls out there standing there posed while other people's dolls were like, or just flopped on the table. Or no offense to people who went to those BJD meetups. I'm not talking about you. Well, I might be talking about y'all, but so I was very proud of that intent. And when you see my doll like this is how she goes on the shelf.
Yes.
This is how she's gonna go on the shelf. You know what I mean? And it gives her the illusion of walking towards you. I could barely be like,
hi, doll lover. It does. It looks like she's in motion, like she's really taking, she's taking that pose. She's being the high fashion model that she is. Right. And, I get lazy and I get complacent. Sometimes just to get them unpacked and on the shelf is like an accomplishment to me. So when you said that about my Barbies lined up like they're in the penitentiary, it made me want to go back, because then when I looked at it, you planted the seed, and I was like, yeah, I got to do something about them. And now that I have taken the time to kind of tweak them a little bit, when I look over there at them, I'm like, oh, they all look like little models, and it gives me a lot of satisfaction to see them like that.
Well, that's my thing. Like, I always want my girls to give me some feeling when I look up there and I look at them. Give me something. Don't just stand there. You know what I mean? Like, do something for me. Make me happy when I look at you. Oh, not you, Dominique. I know.
Oh, yeah, I saw that with M. Remington. You're right. I don't use Photoshop. I haven't got there yet. I do have access to it, but I just hadn't got to the point where I want to really delve into that too much. But my boyfriend uses it when he does the pictures for my promos, for my videos and things like that. So, yeah, that'll be another skill for me to try and learn. I'm trying to learn how to edit the videos now, so that's a headache and a half. But it's a lot of things connected with our doll play and our collecting, to study. And I think that's what, for me, we took the time to read those Barbie magazines because there was nothing else online. There was no online internet for doll collectors back then. All we had was the Miller's magazine and Barbie Bazaar. And we took the time to read those articles, and we learned a lot, and that's why my advice to the, new collectors or what have you is just to, pick up some of those old magazines and read them. You'll find out a lot of things about these dolls that you just did not know, and it'll enrich your experience.
And you'll find it without a lot of pretense, because unfortunately, I mean, no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. There is a lot of pretense online sometimes with doll collectors, where sharing the knowledge is like pulling teeth.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So,
and I don't get that, because I'm happy to share anything I know.
Me too.
But there are some that's like, can't be bothered,
Right.
And it is what it is. The art imitates life. Well, if they're like that in their doll collecting, they're like that in their real life.
This is true. So yeah, you're right. Those old magazines have so much value, as far as because fashion dolls are fashion dolls, and they've been the same forever. You know what I mean? We love integrity, and we know that the things they're doing are innovative, but they didn't create the wheel.
No, they did. And then it always takes us back to our first love, Barbie. And, as I was telling folks, they see me feature a lot of my FR collection because honestly, right now it is the main focus. But I have to be honest, I am loving, all the diversity. I love the fact that in the Barbie, they're making all these fabulous face molds and these different skin tones and hair color combination. And I am a real fashionista junkie. And last year I had to cut it off. I said, unless they were making a head mold that I like and the face was just so spectacular and the hair with it, I wasn't going to buy anymore. And then I widened that to saying, okay, if I like the outfit and I like the doll itself, then I'll get it. Because what happens is I have like 4 Rubbermaid totes full of fashionista dolls, and they don't have any articulated bodies, and that's a problem for me.
So
yes.
I love the fashionistas as they come out, and so I will get an original and keep her, and then I'll get one to play with because I like the diversity of them, and the things that they're doing are so like unique and diverse. And I always tell people Barbie is for children, right? So look at it as these dolls are going out for children who can see themselves in the doll, right? And
right.
People, I think they forget that sometimes. Barbie is for kids. So they're doing it for kids. If you like it, fine, but they're not. Mattel no longer caters really to the collectors market like that because collectors are so finicky.
Yeah.
They're all screaming for one thing and then won't even buy it.
You have to accept it for what it is, a $7 doll. And even if you just bought that doll for the outfit, you got a whole fashion for a doll for $7. And like you said, I had to learn, I only buy the ones whose face molds and, you know, skin tones and hair is just something I know I'm never going to see again. And I have started just taking the heads off of them because I have nowhere to store the whole doll. So I'll take the heads off of them and take the clothes. And then, you know, if I don't have a body to switch it on, then I'll just throw it out. And so I'm going to have this case, this lunchbox full of heads,
right?
You know, waiting for a body someday for me to get. But I know if I don't get them now for $7, some of those things, those dolls are going for $100,
right?
Oh, because I slept on them.
Look, cause see how simple that is, but she looks so pretty.
She does. Well, that is definitely a gift that you have always had. I mean, since the day I met you, that was your thing.
Thank you. Yeah, I get a lot of joy out of playing with my dolls. I'm a doll player versus a doll acquirer. I mean, and if that's your thing to acquire dolls, that's on you. I'm a doll player. You know what I mean? You
definitely play with your dolls and you work them to the max. That's for sure.
I am a doll player. I like to play with them. I like to take them out, play with them. When the city was normal, me and my bead people, my friends will tell you, I have taken my dolls to the bar.
Oh, wow.
Well, because they were in my book bag already, and I was out to the bar for happy hour. Take them out and sit them on the table and get a drink for them. Did they drink it? No, I drank it, but you know.
Okay, so what do we spray on their hair? So I have 2 things. What I do is I have a solution where I'll take a little bottle and I'll put 1/3 of a fabric softener in it and 2/3 water and shake that up. And I'll use that for the hair. And then I just have a little spray bottle that's full of water. So most of the time for the photo shoot, I'll just spray some water on this brush and moisten it a little bit and smooth out all the little strays. And if I can't get it to act right, then I have this little pair of scissors and I'll clip them just to clean it up.
So for me, I make my own little mixture. I put not even a dime size amount of dollar gel, a dime size, just a little dime size in my spray bottle. I put water in it. Dollar gel. It's just clear gel. The dollar clear gel.
For hair?
Yes. I just put a little dime size dollar in my water bottle with water, shake it up, and that's it. And that's what it looks like. It looks just like water. Without a the hold is not gross. See?
Yeah.
The hold is not gross. And I just curled Tula Bell's hair using this as a setting lotion. Okay.
Now, I'll tell you what I do now. If I'm doing a boil perm and I'm getting ready to set their hair on little miniature perm rods and set it with the boiling water, there is some stuff Theo showed me a couple years ago called Got to Be. Oh my God. That stuff is like cement if you want a hard curl. You want a hard... I
love hard curls.
Now this is how I use it. I will take the wet hair and put a little bit of Got to Be on it, use my end papers and roll that hair. And then when I pour the boiling water off of it, enough of it will rinse off so that the hair won't crack, actually crack when it dries.
So
So
you want those
that's how I
shellac
do that
curls.
for a hard set.
So you want
Yeah,
the shellac curls. See,
yeah.
I don't like for my dolls, I don't like that hard curl. So I use
Yeah.
this. I use the perm rods, but for end papers, I cut a plastic bag and use that
Mhm.
plastic as my end papers. I
Oh,
wrap,
that's a good idea.
then I wrap my head in a cap like I used to bleach my hair, but I just wrap it in that, and then I
Okay.
dunk that part of the head in hot water. So the
Okay.
curl is dry, the hair is dry, and then it's heat set. And then when I take it out, it looks like this.
All right. Well, there you go. You got some more tips about how to perm that hair. We'll have to do a class about that too. We'll sit here and roll. Yeah, perm rods. Let me see. I'm going to show you some perm rods that I have used, and I have
I
been
might,
using them for probably 20 years. And
I'm,
these are my favorite ones. See how tiny that is?
I was gonna say I might show you some, but I guess not because I just had them damn things.
This one's a little thicker if you want a bigger curl, a bigger wave.
Oh,
If you have a lot of long hair, we have the longer yellow ones.
and these are the ones I use to get the curl on Tula Bell.
And then here you go. These are chunkier blue one. So I use these when I want more of a body wave effect.
And it's about how tight you curl it as well.
And this
If
one
you
too.
curl the
Yeah.
ends, if you curl it all the way in, you'll get that Shirley Temple type look. But just to curl, like Tula Bell, her hair was bone straight, so all I did was curl her midway, and that was it. And that's how I got the fullness. And her hair is not like Shirley Temple on the Good Ship Lollipop.
Yeah, these are perm rods, and you can find them, these little teeny tiny ones in the beauty supply store. They're perm rods. That's what they are. All right, I think somebody said they had some questions about oh, you're welcome, Donna. She asked me a question about the Meteor Basics dolls, and she went to try to check out, and it basically was just a blank thing. And what it is they're doing that so that they capture your email address. And when the dolls are back in stock, Integrity is going to send you an email and let you know that doll is back in stock. And then you know to hurry on over there and buy that doll and check out with your payment and everything. And then you'll get the doll. But I had to do that too. I had to go through the motions of pre-order just so that they would send me the email reminder when she came back in stock, because I didn't buy either one of those basics dolls. I was promoting them, but I didn't buy them because when I found out that they were going to reissue them, it took the pressure off of me knowing, okay, well, they'll come back in stock. I'll get them next time. So, and I like that. I like
Well,
that.
well, to me, Integrity is taking a tip from like Tana, because longtime doll collectors know that like Robert Tonner came out with basic Tylers like every year. That's basic swimsuit dolls, basic
Mm-hmm.
whoever, basic Jane, and
Hey, Miss Nita.
that lets you get a collectible doll without getting into the rat race of having to help somebody pay their mortgage off one doll. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I love that idea. Like, I felt like the idea of those Meteor basics were amazing. Like, I love them. I was happy to get them. And plus, for me coming back into fashion royalty, just like they said, that was a good segue into having a high quality doll without paying an arm and a leg for her.
Exactly. And
So
Kenny said, he asked us, did we order the new Barbie Extra? I have to confess, when I stopped the fashionista thing, I have not bought any of the Barbie Extra, and I just decided that I wasn't going to collect any of them. Do I think they're cute? Yes. I don't have room for them. I'm going to not buy those because all of my friends have them. So if I want to play with them someday or see them, they all have them. But for me, they weren't a must have. I would just rather wait around for the next wave of fashionista if I have to add some Barbie. So that's what I'm going to do. But I didn't get any of the Barbie Extra, but I do think they are nice, and I like the second line of them.
So I did buy the fur coat one. I didn't buy any of the other ones. So I did like the fur coat one. I thought I was gonna play with her, but I actually didn't. She's back there on the shelf. I thought the accessories that came with her were kind of silly, but I thought she was pretty.
Yeah, she
I
is
thought
pretty.
they were nice. I mean, I would
She's
say we're cheaper, but get your life, Mattel.
I like the direction they're going in, but not enough to invest that for all of them. So I'm gonna, just admire them from afar.
Right. I agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I may say that now, but then end up with them. But
And then apparently they made the new ones with the made to move body, so that's a plus. So I know that that's surely a marketing strategy for them because they know people are going to buy those dolls for those bodies, if nothing else. And if I get sucked into it, it'll be because I want that body for somebody. But I'm trying to resist, so y'all pray for me because I got enough. I got enough stuff.
yeah,
I am still unpacking.
and I'm on the fringe. Like I just buy what I like, so I may get them if I like them. But I mean, I don't know. I got the
Yeah,
one, and I liked her, but I didn't like her enough to like play with her. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
I didn't like her
Yeah.
enough to do anything else with her except for just get rid of that dog or that dog she came with and that dog purse and you know. But I thought they were really nice. I mean, she's really nice and she's really pretty. If I could get her on sale, I'd like her clothes from my other Barbies.
Oh, Donna, although says y'all are so disciplined. I'm trying not to feel like I need everything that comes out. Oh, we were
Oh,
like
I
that in the
buy
beginning.
everything. Listen, I buy what I
We
want.
were
Like
like
I will
that.
I'm still like that. I will still go if I want something, I will just buy it and be like, Lord, how did I wind up with this doll? I bought the Fail Fix doll, a black one. I thought she was so pretty. Um, but then I was in TJ Maxx and they had them on clearance for like $8 and I bought another one. And I'm like, I didn't even play with the
Wow.
one that I bought. But I
Yeah,
like yeah.
we were all like that. So don't feel bad. But at some point, what's really reining me in right now is that I don't have space to put them. And one of the agreements, we moved from a 2-bedroom townhouse to the only 3-bedroom unit they have in this complex. And the agreement is that when we moved to the 3-bedroom, that everything I have that's doll related had to be in that one room. So I literally do not have any more room. I can't put them downstairs anymore. I can't put them in the bedroom. I can't do any of that because that was a serious relationship agreement. So I literally do not have room for anything else. So I have to be very selective from here on out, especially if I'm gonna keep collecting FR. I've got to cut down somewhere else. So it's a priority thing for me.
Yeah, and I've been like selling the dolls that I'm no longer into. You know, I moved to New York from Delaware, and I didn't realize I had so many dolls until I packed everything up. And then I finally, in September, brought all my dolls here. So I have
Okay.
been going through them and getting rid of rehoming the girls to other homes who will appreciate them. Because
All
now
right.
I have so many. I'm obsessed with LOLs. Those little LOLs. I'm obsessed with those. And I'm obsessed with OMGs. And then I got back into FR. I got an American Girl. I have BJDs. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's what
Well,
it
bye,
is.
Mama Bear Jenny. I'm glad that you came in and that you learned some new stuff. And Kenny, no, I'm not going to send you any of my dolls. And Anika, I remember because I was right there along with you in the trenches. We were buying everything that was coming out, whether it was Barbie or Fashion Royalty or Janae or what have you. So we're all doing that. We're going to wrap this up. Kyle, do you have anything else you want to
No,
say before we go?
thank you guys so much. I appreciate. Thank you, teacher.
This was great. I am glad to offer information. I think this is going to be some great content, and I will be posting this on my YouTube channel later on. So thank you guys for taking the time to come out. And I know I learned a lot, so I'm hoping that you got a lot of value out of this live. And I'm going to wish you all a great Sunday evening, and I'll be talking to you next, Kyle.
All right,
All right,
bye.
bye. Good night.
Good night.
Bye, Kenny. Bye, Roy. This was excellent. Bye, 160 Shaders. Y'all have a great night. We'll try to do this again soon.